like I had enough discipline to actually take it out and do what I said I'm supposed to do. So you're so right. Discipline is so, so important.
So I
So
got a
important.
question. Some people
Mhm.
may not be able to ask. So I got a question. When you first was gonna invest that 800,000, did you say, man, I don't know? Did you say that? Did you get nervous? Did you get hesitant?
I did a little bit. So I was watching the trade. So this was Monday when I actually put the trade in. And I was looking
Hmm.
at the chart and the market was about to open. And at first I was like, I was looking at the chart and in my head I have like all these checkpoints. I'm like, okay, the reward to risk on this is really good. The like the time like this is going to go up. Like like it's one of those things you have to kind of talk to yourself and be like this is what my plan, my trading plan says. Like I need to stick with my trading plan. But I did. And what's crazy is I did it in options. So I first got one contract because I was like,
Ooh.
let me just see if this works.
Hmm.
And then I said, okay, I think this trade is going to be right. So then I got 100 contracts. And then it kept being like, then it started going down. And so now at this point, like, this is the crazy part. The trade is actually losing. But in my head, because I'm a trader, I know that when it's losing, it's actually becoming a better value. So now I'm like, I need to get more of this. And that's also a piece of learning because oftentimes people won't like when they see it go negative, then they'll get out of the trade. Somebody would have done the opposite and said, well, I'm selling it. I was wrong. I can't believe it. It went down 1 penny. Oh no. And I'm like, okay, no, like my research was already good. So it's good and getting better. So then I bought another 100 contracts. At this point, this is when I have the whole 800,000 in. So yes, I'm hesitant, but at the same time, I'm like, I gotta bet on myself. Like if I don't do this, like I gotta bet on myself. And what's crazy is after that, I also sent the chart over to my students. That was another faith move because usually I don't like giving out, like I'm not the one that will call out trades. I teach you
Hmm.
how to do it so you can fish yourself, right? So you know how to read
Right.
this Amazon chart. I've given you Amazon. But this time I said, no, this chart is too good. I need to let people know. So I let them know. That's another thing because it could have been like, Terry, you put this out here and it went down and everybody lost money because that's also scary, telling people the wrong stuff. But sure enough, I actually went away. So after I took the trade, I went to go walk on the beach and I went and ate lunch. I like didn't look at it.
That would
I
have been
didn't
the
look
best
at it.
lunch I ever ate. That would have been the best lunch. I would have walked on the, I ain't gonna lie, I would have walked on the beach and just laid on the sand like, whew, God, I thank you.
Well, so I will admit, like after the first 15 minutes, it had already gone up 300,000. So I felt good about that. I was like, okay, I made 300,000 in 15 minutes. That's great.
Hmm.
And then when I walked away, it's actually, I don't like that part is not fun. Like that's another kind of emotional hurdle because you're thinking that this thing is gonna go well, but you kind of have like I don't know if it's like Christmas a little bit. You're kind of wondering like, what is it gonna do? It's like anticipation, I guess, but you don't
Hmm.
want to mess it up. And if you look at it, then you might get out of the trade. So it's kind of like you go do something else and come back. So by the end of the day, when I looked back again, and it had gone up, like Amazon had gone on up $50, and then it had kept going up. It went up $75, and I'm like, oh, I have 200 contracts of this. 200 contracts is the same of having 20,000 shares of
Hmm.
Amazon, and each one of them just went up $75. And I'm thinking in my head, I just made like for every $50 this contract moves, I make 1 million. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, I freaking did it. Oh my gosh. Um, yeah,
But
it
it,
was cool.
but I think that was amazing because people need to hear these stories because they don't understand. Success is strategic. You had a strategy. You did not wake up and say, "Oh, here go 800,000. Let me just take it out and just dump it in there and see what happens." Right? It wasn't a "let me get rich quick" thing. It was a, "Okay, here's my strategy. My
Yeah.
goal the end goal was to do the million. Okay, so that's the end goal. Okay, so I'm gonna take this investment, even though I'm a little nervous. Take this investment. We're gonna put it in. We're gonna get these options. No, you said contracts, right? Did you say options?
Yep. Options contract. Yep.
We're gonna get these options,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we're gonna get these options, and I'm gonna buy all of these options. And then once we hit this, I'm pulling out. I ain't gonna be greedy. I ain't gonna be stingy. I ain't gonna say, you know what? I need another this. I need another. Excuse me, that. I'm gonna get in and get out. That was a strategy, right? Because each strategy, sticking to the strategy is key. And I do know what you mean because, like, whenever you avoid your strategy and you get greedy, that greed will cause you to operate in fear because now you're walking with you're being emotionally clouded when you make a decision, which is the reason why
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people can't move forward because the faith is the one part, but having your emotions grounded is a whole separate entity because you said something, you just walked away, which means there was no emotional attachment. Because too many people, I know you know this. I want to do this. Why? Because I can make a lot of money.
Right.
It's a purpose, it's an intent, it's a strategy, and I that's like good because when I used to get all them trades coming to our floor, them dudes was taking risks. 50 million on Facebook right now. I'm like, you don't even know what's going. I'm like, man, these dudes taking. You gotta have some faith taking finance because you can win, lose, but I think what separates the goods versus the improvers is
Right. Right.
the strategies, and not being greedy.
It really is. It's not being greedy, and it's having the balls to be like those. I don't know what color they were, but I'm assuming they were white guys on the trading floor. But having the balls to be like them. Like I'm a woman, I don't have balls, but still, I feel like sometimes you just gotta act like an entitled person
No,
and
because they coming
take
in.
on that mentality so that you can get some stuff done.
Mm,